Hello and welcome. It is the 23rd of June 2014 and this is the 9th development vlog for Glo Breaker version 2. This is the development vlog for yesterday, so the 22nd of June 2014 and the day before, 21st of June 2014, for just combine both of them together. So what have I been doing? Let's just show you via code and then we'll show you in the simulator as well. So for the paddle, as I mentioned in the previous vlog, what I was going to be doing was, actually the paddle was originally in the game scene. It's all nice and horrible. Here's someone around by here. I've abstracted it into a separate paddle class, which is now nice and neat, has its own, variables, attributes, methods, and so forth. I was just gonna abstract it and set up the move function. So when you touch, aka what I'll show you now, when you touch, you can move the paddle to where you want, like so. But when I started doing the paddle, I thought, okay, I'll implement the collision prevent. So the feature to prevent it from going off screen. So I implemented that as well. And I also thought, while I'm here, I might as well just implement the rest of the paddle class. Or as of now, what I think needs to be in there, which is the increased paddle size and decreased paddle size. I have tested them and they do work, so which is great, and the physics do great as well. So we have a constructor which just sets up our paddle sprite and our physics body. It is named a lot better now and we have a lot of definitions, which is looking great. This positioning is not final by any means, because if you look on the iOS simulator, it's like almost in the center of the screen in the y-axis on like a iPad Air. I'm literally looking at it now. It looks more in position where it should be, so this will have a bit of tweaking done to it. So this line, the rest of it will generally remain the same, but yeah, this is just the increased paddle size. As of now, we are just going to have 3 different paddle sizes. You have seen that's the large size. Yeah, but I've got the largest size on for some reason. That's the largest size. You start off with the medium size, like you can go small or medium or large, depending what you want. This just increases the paddle size, decreases the paddle size. It'll be based on what power up. Again, this just moves the paddle and prevents it from going off screen. And I've created it all dynamically, so it works great on an Android device, tested it on Nexus 7, and it also works great on a iOS device, which is fantastic. So yeah, implemented the rest of the paddle. Then started implementing the physics body for the brick manager, which is here. There we go. Created the physics body, created a box. First time I actually created a box. Now I've used Circle before, I've used external physics bodies from other tools, but first time I created a box, and it was very simple. I just got the content size of what I wanted to create it around, set the physics material up as it was before, and just set it dynamic flow, so I don't want basically the brick to be moving. Obviously make sure collisions are activated, and then down here just set the physics body to the brick, and also created a variable called total number of bricks. Actually, I could, I'll do it now, change to an unsigned int, because in theory it should never go below 0. I'm going to leave it up at int. I'm going to test it a little bit, but in theory it shouldn't go below 0, should 0 or more. But yeah, that'll just keep track of the total number of bricks that are on the screen. So whenever, I'll show you the collision detection. Here we go. Whenever a brick is destroyed, aka a single brick, the brick manager will take away, or I will take away, 1 from the total number of bricks, and there'll be a check in the update function that actively checks for this, and if the total number of bricks is 0, then it will switch to the game win thing, which hasn't been implemented yet. But this collision was pretty darn simple. It's pretty nice and cool using the collision manager that I created, and this is the double one as well. And this one, if it hits the double brick, it sets the collision bit mass to a single brick collision bit mass, and you have to hit it again. The aim for technically today, when I wake up later on, because I'm going to go to bed, it's like 1:14 a.m. in the UK, will be to change the texture. I figured that out. I haven't figured it out yet. If you watch this video and you know how to change the texture, I know on a regular sprite, see I've just created a temporary sprite here. I know on this sprite, if I do sprite set texture, I can do that. But if I'm trying to do it based on getting the node, aka my sprite, from the body, and there's a lot of other functions there, but there just isn't set texture. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'm sure we will figure it out, and we have to. We don't have a choice. but if you know how, then that would be fantastic. One thing I'm just gonna tell you this, I found it so funny when I realised. For an hour or so, I implemented this double collision manager. Was it the double one or was it the single one? No, it was a single one. I implemented this single brick collision check, and every time it hit anything, whether that was the wall, the brick, or the paddle, it detected this collision, and it would print out. It wasn't this at the time. I was saying collided with brick, and it just kept on printing that, and I was getting so annoyed. I was like, but it's not colliding with the wall or the paddle. So I went back to the collision definition. I didn't see they changed. I will actually be changing this back. I'll change them like into all different sorts. Make sure they're unique, just in case these will gain conflicts. But they weren't, and I just suddenly just looked at the end here, and I had a semicolon. I literally had a semicolon, so the else if wasn't set up properly, and I looked at it and thought, I shit you not, I bet you if I take that off it will fix it, and it did. This is one of those things when you look at it, you know you've messed up, and by removing it or changing that little thing, it will fix it. Again, a semicolon has ruined the day or ruined the hour, and this time it was by having an extra semicolon, not actually omitting a semicolon. So there's a little tip for you, boys and girls. If you are coding, let's say in C++, and you have an else if or something like this, or a for statement, do not put a semicolon at the end. Just don't. Just make sure you don't. And that is it, really. That's what I did today. Like I said, the task for later on will be just to set up this double brick when it's been collided, so it looks like a single brick. Sorry, I meant brick. Sorry for that language. And to implement the game win scene, because at the moment it is literally just bare bones, and then just transition to the game win scene as well. And also, if you can notice on here, there is no pause button at the moment, and I'm thinking, and there's no lives as well. That's what we had in the old game, and I'm thinking of not putting the lives or the pause button in the conventional storage place, in the storage place that we had before, which was the conventional storage place. We had the pause button here, and we had the lives just across the top here. And I'm thinking of some new methods, just trying to make it look a lot more seamless and slick, because this looks amazing on an iPad or on a tablet or on a phone with no HUD on it. It just looks absolutely fantastic, but the user needs to be able to pause. We're looking at different methods to be able to do that, and that doesn't seem to be that hard on paper, but it's more of the live, where to put the live visually, because obviously the pause, we could hide it somehow and maybe use some sort of gesture, which we're thinking of doing. But the live, we've got a couple of ideas, and we are just toying with them. But yeah, that's for us. Let you on a little sneak peek of what is to come in Glo Breaker version 2, and it's just something that we just thought of in the last hour or so to implement and change. And we just want to try and get the best product out to you. If you want to check out Glo Breaker version, things like version 1.1 on iOS only at the moment, you can check it out. There will be a link in the description. But we're looking forward to version 2 coming out with new features, etc. If you have any questions, feel free to message us at support@sonarsystem.co.uk. The email will be in the description. You can comment on this video, or just directly message us via YouTube, whatever you feel comfortable with. And as usual, thank you for watching, and well, have a nice day or good night or wherever you are in the world. Just have a nice day. Thank you for watching.